Imagine you are walking through the parking lot of a company worth $1 trillion. You expect to see rows of Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and armored Mercedes with white-gloved drivers waiting for their bosses. But in a common spot, you find an old Cadillac, several years old and with no special shine. From inside, a 95-year-old man steps out, carrying his own briefcase and a can of Coca-Cola. This man is not a cleaning crew member or a mid-level accountant. He is Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, one of the richest men to ever walk the earth. Why would someone who could buy a fleet of private jets prefer to drive his own modest car every day? Why does he strictly refuse to hire a luxury driver, even when his age and fortune would justify every comfort in the world? Today we dive into the mind of the billionaire who lives like a middle-class citizen to understand a brutal truth most of us refuse to accept. Ostentation is not a sign of wealth. It is the ultimate trap that keeps the poor, poor. Get ready, because the way you look at your consumption will never be the same after this video. Before we reveal what Buffett told his own daughter when she tried to convince him to change cars, I want to give you a challenge. Look at what you've bought in the last 6 months. How many of those things were to make your life easier? And how many were so others would think your life is easy? The answer to that question is what separates those who build wealth from those who build debt. If you want to learn to think like the greatest investor in history and escape the rat race, subscribe now and hit the bell. Today's content will save thousands of dollars in your bank account. In the business world, a car is seen as a status symbol, a tool for closing contracts. Many aspiring entrepreneurs go into debt to buy a BMW or a Range Rover, believing they need to look rich to be taken seriously. Warren Buffett looks at this and smiles. To him, a car is just a box on wheels that depreciates 20% the moment it leaves the dealership. To a mathematician of Buffett's caliber, losing 20% of an asset the second you turn the key is a cardinal sin. He doesn't just see the loss in the car's value, he sees what that money could have become if it were invested in productive companies. Buffett drives his cars for 7, 8, sometimes 10 years. He only replaced his old Cadillac in 2014 because his daughter, Susie, convinced him it was embarrassing for a billionaire to drive something so outdated. But look closely. He didn't buy a Ferrari. He went to the dealership and bought a new Cadillac XTS, a standard American luxury car, but far from a supercar. And he made sure to buy it at a discount, taking advantage of models that had minor cosmetic damage caused by hailstorms. Yes, a man with over $100 billion looked for a hail-damage discount. He understands that the bodywork doesn't affect the engine's performance, and a lower price means more capital to allocate where it truly matters. Many people ask, why doesn't he hire a driver? He's old, he's a billionaire, he deserves the rest. Buffett's answer is profound and touches the essence of human freedom. To him, hiring a driver isn't just a waste of money, it's a loss of autonomy. Warren values independence above all else. By driving his own car, he decides the route, he decides the timing, and most importantly, he maintains direct contact with the reality of the streets of Omaha. He believes that the moment you surround yourself with servants and excessive luxuries, you begin to live in a bubble. You lose your sensitivity to the market. You lose track of what ordinary people, who are your customers and shareholders, are feeling. Buffett refuses to be an isolated king in an ivory castle. He prefers to be an ordinary citizen facing traffic. This connection to simplicity is what allows him to make such precise investment decisions. He sees the world as it is, not through the filter of a tinted limousine window. This is where we enter the technical lesson of this script. Buffett teaches that the middle class and the poor suffer from a financial pathology called conspicuous consumption. It is the irrational act of buying expensive goods just to signal a social status you haven't yet earned. The problem is that status doesn't pay bills and doesn't generate dividends. When you spend 30% of your income on a car payment you can barely maintain, you are burning the fuel that compound interest would use to free you from work forever. Showiness is a trap because it creates an image of wealth that devours real wealth from the inside. Buffett lives in the same house he bought in 1958 for $31,000. If he had moved mansions every 5 years to show off and impress neighbors, he would have billions less today due to taxes, renovations, and maintenance costs. He understands opportunity cost. Every dollar spent on a luxury driver or a designer accessory today is hundreds or thousands of dollars less for your future self. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. This is Buffett's compass. $1 million car has the same utility value as a $100,000 car, getting you from point A to point B safely and efficiently. The $900,000 difference is just an ego tax. By driving his own common car, Buffett sends a silent but powerful message to his shareholders at Berkshire Hathaway. I take care of my money with the same discipline I use for yours. He doesn't drain the company's cash with unnecessary jets for short trips or lavish perks for the board. He leads by example. If the owner of the company, one of the greatest financial geniuses in history, drives a used Cadillac, no director will have the audacity to demand a fleet of armored Mercedes. As we saw in the story of his daughter Susan, this financial rigidity was not a lack of love, but a raw form of education. His children grew up seeing that wealth doesn't manifest in jewelry, watches, or cars, but in silent assets that work while you sleep. Buffett's refusal to spend on the superficial ensured that his lineage was not made up of dazzled and fragile heirs. He taught that true luxury is peace of mind and freedom of schedule, not the shine of the garage. Most people are, unfortunately, slaves to their possessions. If the car gets a scratch, they panic. If the neighbor buys the latest model, they feel an existential void that can only be filled by new debt. Buffett is immune to this social virus. He is so focused on reading his annual reports and his long-term mission that the brand of vehicle he operates is totally irrelevant to his self-esteem. This is the definition of real wealth. When your confidence comes from what you know and produce, not what you display. Warren Buffett drives his own car because he has absolutely nothing to prove to anyone. He already won the game of financial life decades ago. The question you need to answer today is, why are you still trying to prove something to people you don't even like, using money you don't even have? Ostentation is the mechanism that keeps inequality alive, fueling a cycle of envy and consumption. While the truly rich buy time and productive assets, the poor buy toys that lose value and liabilities that suck their energy. Buffett's Cadillac, parked in that ordinary spot in Omaha, is a daily reminder to the world that simplicity is the ultimate stage of sophistication. It is the foundation of a fortune that withstands crises and time. If you've made it this far, you show the mindset of the 1% who prefer the uncomfortable truth to the luxurious lie that leads to emotional and financial bankruptcy. The path to true freedom is not paved with gold, but with the discipline to ignore what society expects of you. Buffett's entire trajectory shows us that a man's greatest asset is not what he displays in the garage, but the legacy of integrity and intelligence he leaves behind. He doesn't want to be remembered for the car he drove, but for the companies he saved and the lessons he taught to millions of investors around the world. True financial victory happens when you realize that money is just a tool to buy the only thing that really matters, the time to live your life on your own terms, without needing external approval. If this video helped you see wealth in a different way, leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next lessons from the world's greatest investor. Until the next story of value.